We're delighted and honored to have on the show former Arkansas Governor, presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. Mike, you had wanted to run for the White House. The border was a major talking point at last night's debate. So now we're seeing possibly a record 80,000 migrants trying to cross in just 9 days, unvetted. Biden's going to California and Arizona, but not the actual border. He's been there just once. What's your take on everything?
Well, I think the Republicans addressed it very effectively last night. They pointed out that this is just an unmanageable situation. Now you've got Democrats, particularly people in these big cities, formerly sanctuary cities. I don't think they want to be called that anymore, but look at Eric Adams in New York. He knows he's overrun. The Dallas mayor just decided to switch parties from Democrat to Republican. And you've got Democrats in Texas and other border states who are throwing up their hands and saying to the Biden administration, you can't just keep this going. We can't deal with it. But Joe Biden and his border czar, Kamala Harris, seem to be oblivious to that fact.
You know, Governor, let's get your reaction to Republican Senator Katie Britt. She delivered an emotional appeal urging reporters report the stories about how truly bad it is at the border. Report on what border officials, GOP senators, lawmakers have repeatedly seen in their visits to the border. Watch Senator Britt.
Drug cartels, guys, they have their tentacles all over this country. We need you to start telling that story. Just the other day in Alabama, a gentleman told me, if you will come back here with me in this neighborhood right behind you, you will see migrants who are here illegally, and they will tell you about the drug cartels coming around every other week to collect. Guys, that's not the American dream. That's an American nightmare. I looked in the eyes of CBP agents who said, we're exhausted. We're not only having to be paper pushers, we're also trying to do what we took an oath of office to do, and that is protect this border. But when they tell you about finding small children who have drowned in that river, or pulling a lifeless body of a woman who is pregnant with twins, it changes the way you think about what's happening. Because when a woman sits there and she tells you not just about being raped, but how many times a day she's raped, when she tells you about having to lay in that bed while they come in and out and in and out, it's disgusting and it's despicable. Folks, you look at the number of people that have died at the border because Joe Biden has made it more and more enticing to come here. Make no mistake, this is a result of failed policies. We could fix this. We can't throw money at this and fix it. We have to actually change the policies.
Governor, she lit it up. She lit it on fire. Really, yeah. That is the hair on fire moment, the passion that is needed for reporters to hear, for voters to hear on how, Governor, you've been talking about this for years, on how truly bad it is at the border, Governor.
You know, I think what Katie Britt did was to show a level of authenticity in her passion. This was not a political comment she made. She was not doing it in some sterile voice of trying to be partisan. She was speaking as a woman, thinking about the fact that she had talked to people who had experienced being repeatedly raped, and begging the reporters, pay attention to this. There's human suffering. I think it's an important part of what the Republican Party must do is balance the concern we have over the numbers of people who are coming, but to recognize, as she most brilliantly and eloquently did, that this is a human tragedy. People are being exploited, they're being used, they're being enslaved, and the United States government is a part of that.
You know, New York City, they're planning to distribute flyers. You talked about this before. They're going to distribute flyers to illegal immigrants that say, go somewhere else. Quote, the city's resources have been exhausted. Quote, they will not get any help finding work in New York City. Your final word.
What hypocrisy. They've been a sanctuary city as long as somebody else had the immigrants and had to pay for the problem. Suddenly they see some, and it's overrunning them, and they're saying, get out of here. You're not welcome. What an irony.
Got it.
But it's reality hitting home.
It is hitting home. Governor Huckabee, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.